Hello, YouTube prepper friends. This is Lee, the Cold War prepper. This is attempt number 8. So they've been averaging about 15 to 17 minutes on average. And then I get to the end, and there's no box. It didn't record. So it's counting up. I'm at 13 seconds. I came in. Helen, I threw a fit. Helen said, "What's wrong?" I showed her. It went for 7 seconds. It recorded it. So I have a video of me explaining to her how it's not recording. But anyhow. Day 2 of being on the doxycycline and Sudafed, I'm feeling a lot better. It is an upper respiratory infection. The COVID test came back negative. The flu A and flu B came back negative, so it's just my standard about every 6 months COVID. I did get chewed out by my doctor, though. He says, even though you know what it is, he said, you took 4 days to come in, and with your history and your lung problems, you can't let it go more than 2. So he really yelled at me. I got to go in there before 2. But anyhow, I didn't go to Mass today. I didn't go to Ash Wednesday. Didn't go to Mass on Sunday. So, gosh, I'm going to have to make some sort of atonement for that, I'm sure. It bothers me that I didn't go, but I didn't want to infect anybody else. I didn't want to cough or sneeze during Mass or anything else. It's too... I don't want to distract from the significance of the Mass. But anyhow... the world sure is changing right before our eyes. So, for the first couple years let me take it back. 1962, in November, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis. So my next door neighbor was the block civil defense warden. Built a cinder block fallout shelter in his backyard. As a 10-year-old boy, I was extremely impressionable, and I learned everything I could about nuclear fallout, radiation, food storage, water purification, air filtration, everything I could from this guy. And then when I got drafted in 1970, only lottery I've ever won, by the way. Anytime I was in a unit, my first 12 years I was enlisted. My last 9 years I was an officer. Oh, which reminds me, I found my rank and my unit crest out in the garage. So they're now on my hat. But anyhow, I always volunteered to be the MDC NCO. So that's the Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Detection and Decontamination non-commissioned officer in charge. And so that was for a platoon of about 40 guys. Then when I became an officer, first I became a company grade NBC officer. So I took care of about 185 guys and had a little bit bigger system to do identification, detection, and treatment of NBC contaminants. And then when I became a little bit higher rank, I became a battalion NBC and officer, and that was for about 1,200 guys. So, it's been a love of my life for the whole time. When I was on Facebook, I got kicked off a year ago. Don't know why, still to this day. I sent them a letter, and they said, well, we kicked you off permanently because you disagree with our original kicking you off. And I said, well, the reason I disagree with it is because you never told me what it was. And... but I used to have a prepper channel on Facebook, and about 8 years ago, I showed my. This is about the ninth. I should read this up. This is about the 8th or 9th time I've lifted this up. This is my everyday carry bag. I keep it with me, so it's really nondescript. It used to be when I did the picture, it was an HEB grocery bag, and so. But since then, it kind of wore out, and I've replaced it with this bag that was given to me by Frost Mate. So 8 years ago, I was probably the only person around who carried one of these in his everyday carry. And that's a Geiger counter or a radiation detector. And then my wife and I each both have personal dosimeters we carry in our wallets. So that's still a hangover from that 1962 thing. So, excuse me. Now you know why I didn't go to Mass. And so been concerned about that. And so we have it here. Recommend you get one. Get some way of determining whether or not you've been exposed to radiation, and if so, how much. So first I want to go through what I'm going to get tomorrow as far as my focus when I go shopping for the I'm going to talk about food first. I'm going to get water. I'm going to get flour. I'm going to get cornmeal and masa to make tortillas. and then we're going to get chicken. I'm going to get chicken in a can. I'm going to get chicken frozen chicken. The frozen chicken tenderloins at Costco are just fantastic. Frozen chicken chicken in a can at Costco is the best there is, according to my wife. So I can't taste the difference, but she can. 21 years of Army food, so I'm not really what you might call a connoisseur. So let's talk about what I want you to do tomorrow, and I'm going to pick up some more of this. You need to pick up this stuff tomorrow. In your vehicle, I want you to have a pair of nitrile gloves, the blue medical gloves, black, whatever you want to do. Get one pair of those for every passenger in your vehicle. I want you to get an N95 mask for every passenger in your vehicle. I want you to keep all this in your glove compartment, in a rear seat, in a bag, something. Everybody also needs to have a pair of goggles or glasses that are relatively tight-fitting. And then I want you to get one of those $1 disposable ponchos. The minute you see a mushroom cloud or you hear that you're in the fallout zone, what I want you to do is put on that poncho, regardless of where you are. Put on your N95 mask. You do not want to ingest, either through your nose or mouth, any dust particles that are irradiated. You also want to protect them from getting embedded in your eyes, so you want to put on your glasses and then put on your gloves. Pull that hood up over, because the hardest thing to decontaminate is human hair. A smart person would shave tomorrow, but I never claimed that I was smart. So you want to cover your head entirely and then hold it in place with something. So I probably won't use this hat. I'll use some other, because you'll have to throw away whatever covering you use, and I don't want to throw this one away. But anyhow, so you're going to get your body fully covered, then you're going to put your gloves on, and if possible, keep as much of your body covered as possible at all times until you get home. So those are the things you're going to need to buy tomorrow. Have those in your vehicle at all times. I'm going to say you need some inside your house too, in case you want to leave the house. That's where you're going to dress. If you can get those little booties that cover your shoes, or kind of like surgical booties or whatever, if you can get those, you can find those. Great if you're leaving the house, but if you're already out, we're going to leave your shoes outside when you do go through decontamination. So now I'm going to set up a decontamination point in my backyard on my back patio. I have 2 exposed areas and I have 2 walls. So the 2 exposed areas, I'm going to get some sheeting, some drop cloths, heavy duty, and a staple gun. I'm going to staple those up to form 2 more walls, okay, with an entrance point. I ordered a 5-gallon shower system, camp shower system from Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. And so that's going to be the third point that we're going to do for decontamination. I'm going to have a small area with a trash can, if you will, where you're going to come in. The first thing you're going to do is take off your poncho. You want all your other stuff left on. The first thing to come off is going to be the poncho, and you're going to lift it up in such a way that you're trying to, any dust that falls is going to fall on the inside of the poncho, and then you're going to take it off so that you don't drop any into your face or head or anything else. You're going to water it up into a ball and throw it in the trash can. Once you've done that, then we're going to take off the rest of your clothing. Once you've got the rest of your clothing off, then we'll take off the goggles and the mask and your gloves. Okay, those will go in the trash. Then we're going to take off the rest of your clothes. Then we'll go through a shower. Now, in that shower, you can either use the shower like I'm ordering the camp shower, or I told you every week when I go to the store, I pick up one of these. This is in my stash that I bought this week that I'll be showing on the Sunday video. And so that wound wash is a low-pressure spray that you can use to kind of rinse yourself off. Do not wash. Rinse. If you wash, you're going to rub that into your skin. You don't want radioactivity in your skin. You want to rinse it off, flush it off. And like I said, the hair is going to be the one that's going to be the most difficult. People have a tendency to try to want to scrub it. Don't. Just rinse. Just rinse. And then once that's done, you're going to pat yourself dry. Do not rub. Pat, dry, and then come into the house naked and get dressed. Okay, now let's say somebody's already showing signs of radiation sickness. We're going to carry them back to a special sickness area. We've got one room that we're going to set aside as our sick room. And so how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to do first is we're going to get some more painter's drop cloths. We're going to cut them a little bit larger than the size of the bed. This is a twin bed. And so we're going to put those over the top of the twin bed, because how do we know somebody's got radiation sickness? Well, there's a couple of symptoms. Vomiting, diarrhea, and severe dehydration, and some pain, discomfort. So we want to treat those three things. Well, we're going to put them on this drop cloth so that if they have any more diarrhea and we don't catch it in a bedpan, then I'm ordering 10 bedpans, disposable bedpans with 100 disposable liners, so each bedpan can be used 10 times before we have to throw it away. And then we're also going to get barf bags, and we're going to get some sputum trays, so that if they are getting rid of sputum or vomit, we'll be able to contain that as well. So we want to rehydrate them, we want to control their pain, and we're going to rehydrate them using either Pedialyte, which is fantastic, that, you know, in the nursery area. We can also use Gatorade. I'm getting powdered Gatorade if I can find it. It's been very difficult to find. I like Tang as well. That was used by the astronauts for their when they were in space. Then I also like another company called Drip Drop. They have some fantastic rehydration packets, individual packets, 1 per quart or liter, and it's pretty good stuff. So I'm going to get plenty of that tomorrow. Going to get more wound wash, of course. Let me see here. Burn gel. Get another thing of burn gel. I got one this last Sunday, and I'll get some more tomorrow. This has got aloe. You want to look for as high a strength of allocaine or lidocaine as you can find. Okay, so lidocaine or allocaine, that's a pain reliever, topical pain reliever. You want to get as much of that as you can. I think 4% is the max you can get by law, but if you can find 4%, get 4%. You know, and that's going to be for any burns. Then you're also going to want to have non-stick dressings. Now the difference is the dressing is what gets applied to the wound, and then a bandage keeps the dressing in place. So you're going to need some non-stick dressing for any burns, and then something to hold it on, some sort of bandage. That could be a cotton roll of cotton, or it could be the Keflex tape, or it could be, you know, a lot of different things. You could probably even use paper tape and hold the Teflon pads on. Okay, so the person is sick. He's in your bed. We're trying to control pain with the maximum strength over-the-counter pain medication we can get. We're going to get some antidiarrheals. We're going to keep them hydrated. We're going to take care of bedpan, anything that comes out that end, tray or barf bag for anything that comes out the other end. You might want to also have a lot of napkins and other things. Not napkins, but Kleenex and stuff to take care of that. You know, those types of bodily fluids. We've got them on a plastic sheet, so now they're really sick. They aren't going to be able to clean themselves. So you're going to want to have some Heine wipes, some baby wipes, some sterile wipes, whatever the case might be, so you can clean their Heine for them, because that's going to become very uncomfortable. They're sick. They're in pain. They're hurting. Try to make them as comfortable as possible, and you taking care of that for them is going to help them live a little bit better and a little bit more dignified as this progresses. Now, but you've got to take care of yourself. Okay, so you don't want anything to splash, get up in your eyes, your face, or anything else. So you want to make sure you have nitrile gloves. Don't get latex. We don't know if they're going to be allergic to latex or not. You want nitrile. I'm going to say you probably need about 300 pairs of gloves for the average lifespan of somebody with nuclear radiation sickness. You're probably going to want about 100 surgical masks. That's all you're going to need. You don't need the N95. And you want to want some sort of glasses, some sort of eye protection to protect you from anything, any bodily fluids that may splash. You don't want to get poo-poo in your eyes. You're going to wear those anytime you're taking care of the person and any kinds of their discharges, and while you're cleaning them up and sanitizing. Which brings to the point, you might want to get some sort of a spray, like Lysol or 409 or something like that, to clean up the area. And then I would say probably after every 5 to 10 cleanups, change that, give them a fresh plastic sheet, make them as comfortable as possible. Another thing you might want to consider getting, I don't know for sure if this is going to work with humans, but they have advanced odor stain and pet remover. So we use this. The girls get up here on the ick bunk every once in a while. We have one who is a little bit on the deformed side. She was a rescue dog. And if she gets excited, she urinates. So we use this to clean up her urine on the cloth ick bunk, and it works very well. I imagine chemically that the urine of humans and the urine of dogs are pretty close, and that might work pretty well on handling human urine as well. Okay, you're going to pick up the disposable ponchos, gloves, goggles, and N95 masks for everybody in your car, the portable shower or stuff. You're going to get the tarps, porta potties. So Rainy Day Foods has fantastic porta potties. I bought 2 of theirs, and I bought a luggable loo. I gave the luggable loo that I got off Amazon to my daughter. It's nicer. But we're going to keep the 2 other porta potties that I got on sale, and they still are, from Rainy Day Foods here. And they come with the potty, and I think they have a couple bio bags inside of them, and a roll of toilet paper, and maybe a couple cans, tubes of EcoGel, which it helps with composting, and it also controls odor. And so check Rainy Day Foods, see if you can get that on sale, and if you can, order 2, 1 for urine, 1 for fecal matter. Use the red BioHazard bags for your fecal matter, and then just use regular trash bags for the urine. And that way you can tell the difference between the 2. You want to try to keep the 2 separated as much as possible so you can get rid of the bulk. And the urine you can just take out in the backyard, back corner, and dump it. It's going to stink to high heaven after a while, but you just want to dump it out in the backyard. The fecal matter, you want to try to decompose that as much as possible. So there's another thing. I was looking for lime, because if I dig a poo-poo pit out in the backyard, I want to put lime on top of it after I've got that EcoGel in it. And I found out there's also a septic tank cleaner at Tractor Supply that's made by Roebicks, and it's 1 quart for about $20, but it does the same thing as the EcoGel, but just bigger and stronger. It's made for septic tanks, a 500-gallon septic tank. So 1 quart for 500 gallons, I figured, maybe a dropper would probably take care of a bio bag full of poop. And so we're going to do that along with lime back in the back corner to try to help decompose that as quickly as possible. Let me see, what else? We've got the tarps that we're going to need and the staple gun to make the decontamination area. We're going to get extra porta potty supplies, so get extra EcoGel if you go on, do it from Rainy Day Foods. Get extra BioHazard disposal bags. We're going to get extra dog food. The girls are very important to us. Baby wipes, moist wipes, sanitizer, and liquid soap. Hand sanitizer, liquid soap. Get 2 bottles of hand sanitizer, 2 bottles of liquid soap, like soft soap. Put 2 bottles in each of those buckets for your porta potty, so you'll have them there, so that as you unpack to create your bathroom, you already have hand cleaning capability right there with it. Get extra toilet paper, as much toilet paper as you can get. That's going to be in very critical supply. Bedpan, sputum tray or barf bags, plastic sheets for the beds, liners, gloves, masks, disinfectant cleaners, and that's it. Okay, so we're under 18 minutes. Try to keep it that way. The infantry says embrace the suck. What that means is we're all in this together. We all have, nobody's special. As long as we study up on this and we can mitigate as much of the discomfort as possible, we can have the maximum amount of alleviation of discomfort as possible through knowledge and preparation. Go to ready.gov/nuclear-explosion. There's information in there on what to do when you see a fallout, what you can do to protect your home from, when you see an explosion, what you can do to protect your home from radiation, fallout, what you can do, all the effects, all the first aid, all the treatment. The stuff I told you about radiation sickness came from that. So study up on that. Now's the time to study it. Now's the time to be prepared for it. And then come up with your own plan. Like I've given you our plan. Come up with your own. If you want to follow mine, that's fine. You'll probably have some improvements. Comment below with any improvements that you have so that I can benefit from those too. The other one that he came up with today that I really love is he says, be Semper Gumby. Gumby the doll, where you twist everything. And that's just Semper Gumby, always flexible. So I don't have the equipment I had when I was a battalion NCO officer. Battalion NBC officer. I don't have that decontamination equipment. I don't have the atropine injectors. I don't have any of that stuff. But we're going to make do the best we can with what's available to us in the common market. So do me a favor. Pray, stay safe, be prepared. This is Lee. Bye.